Hi, my name is Jeff Pfeiffer. I'm an attorney here at the Lopez Law Group. I specialize in mostly personal injury actions within the state of Florida, whether that be an auto accident case, a slip and fall, a dog bite, or any other situation where you may have been injured due to somebody else's negligence. This is our podcast series where we try to answer a lot of questions that we get during that initial consultation. I'm trying to put this out there so that I can alleviate some of your concerns before you actually come in for that meeting, so that maybe I can answer some of those questions and kind of provide some of that relief to any anxiety that you may have before you meet with an attorney. We know that meeting with an attorney is not an easy thing to do, so hopefully this series is beneficial and can provide you with some information. One of the questions that I get a lot when clients come in and sit down is, I'm feeling a lot of pain. I've got a couple different areas that are hurting me, but what are some of the common injuries that someone may sustain from an auto accident case? That answer is kind of hard to answer that question because everybody's case is different. But I'll kind of go over some of the common injuries that somebody gets when they're involved in an auto accident. The first and probably the most common that people hear is whiplash. That's one of the that has been thrown around a lot in the news and on a lot of articles online that you might read. You're involved in an accident, whiplash. Your neck flies forward in an accident and then it comes back, and you're feeling a strain or a sprain, or your neck is sore or your back is sore. That is what whiplash is. That is one of the most common injuries related to a traumatic incident with a car accident. It's the violent thrusting back and forth within a vehicle. Ultimately, if you go to a hospital following an accident and they diagnose you with a sprain or a strain in your neck or your back, that's probably due to the whiplash that you sustain. So that's one of the most common injuries that we get. Another one is, and you probably won't figure this out until you have an MRI, but just a bulging disc or a herniated disc in your neck or in your back. Those are situations where your disc has gone out of its normal the normal area where it's supposed to be. It's protruding onto the spinal cord in some situations. Ultimately, and you're feeling that pain at that level. There are multiple levels in your neck and multiple levels in your back. But ultimately, where you're feeling that pain, it usually means that a disc has come out of place. It's probably impinging on some nerves at that level. That's why you're feeling that pain. That is another very, very common injury after an auto accident, is just a bulging disc or an actual herniated disc. Those are the two of the most common things that you'll probably see on an MRI report after you go and have that MRI. So your attorney at some point will probably discuss with you, and most certainly your doctor will discuss with you, what levels your herniation is at, what levels are your bulging discs at. Is it due to this accident? What happens during the accident that causes a herniated disc? What is a herniated disc? What does it look like? They may show you some samples. They may show you a couple of examples of models in the office related to what a herniated disc is or a bulging disc is. Those are some very, very common injuries that you get. And of course, the more severe cases, you may end up with broken bones. You may end up with lacerations. There are many different kinds of injuries that one person can suffer in an auto accident case. Ultimately, if it is a severe bulging disc or herniation, you may be recommended for a surgery. You may need a fusion. Maybe they have to fuse some of the levels in your back because the pain is so bad. You may need what's called a discectomy. There are multiple different injuries that you may suffer. There are multiple different ways to treat them, but some of the most common, like I said, are the strains and the sprains. You're looking at whiplash as, again, another common injury. A bulging disc, a herniated disc. Ultimately, your broken bones and things of that nature, those will heal. But ultimately, damage to ligaments, damage to discs in your back, all of those things are things that are more serious, and you can probably expect to hear those words tossed around a couple of times during your personal injury case. So if you find yourself dealing with any of those injuries and you're looking for an attorney to step in and see what kind of compensation we might be able to get you for those injuries, that's what we do here at the Lopez Law Group. We'd be more than happy to review whatever medical records you have. If you're not currently treating with a provider, we can request some of the hospital records and kind of see what kind of damages you're dealing with and who you probably should be seeing, and ultimately go over those reports with you, talk about whether you have a herniation, whether you have a bulging disc, what does that mean for your case, and ultimately, those doctors can also cover that with you. So those are important. If you find yourself suffering with any of those issues in your personal injury case, give us a call. I'm more than happy to run over those records with you, kind of talk to you about what you're suffering from, what your injuries are, and what our office could ultimately do for you. We are here. This is the Lopez Law Group. This is what we do. We're personal injury attorneys. So you can give us a call at 727-933-0015. Thank you.